A rich man lived in a big city near the sea. He had 3 daughters and 3 sons. One of his daughters was called Beauty because she was very beautiful. The other 2 daughters were Rosalind and Hortensia. They were lazy and unfriendly. They loved going out, having fun, and dreamed of marrying rich men. They didn't like Beauty because she was kind and beautiful. Beauty had long red hair. She was gentle and friendly. She enjoyed staying home, reading books, and playing the piano. Their father was a merchant. One day, he came home looking very sad. "My dear children," he said softly, "I have lost all my money. My ship is lost at sea. We are now poor. We must leave this big house and move to the countryside." "Oh no!" cried Rosalind and Hortensia. "We're poor. This is terrible." "What bad luck," said the 3 sons. "We have to work now," said their father. "Work?" said Rosalind and Hortensia. "We don't want to work or live in the countryside." They began to cry loudly. Beauty felt sad too, but she gently said, "Let's not cry. We can still be happy, even without money. We can work and help each other." The family moved to a small house in the countryside. Life there was hard. Every morning at 4 a.m., Beauty woke up to clean the house and cook. Then she washed everyone's clothes in the river. Her 3 brothers worked outside in the fields. But Rosalind and Hortensia didn't do anything. They slept all morning and walked in the woods in the afternoon. "I'm not happy here," complained Rosalind. "There's nothing to do. We can't wear nice clothes or go to the theater," said Hortensia. "And we don't have any friends." "Look at Beauty," said Rosalind angrily. "She works hard and she's still happy in this horrible place." Their father looked at Beauty with love. "Dear Beauty," he said, "you always work hard and smile. You are a wonderful daughter." 1 year later, Beauty's father received an important letter. "Children, listen to this," he said with excitement. "One of my ships has returned. It's not lost anymore. It's in the port." "Wonderful news," said the 3 sons. "We're rich again," shouted Rosalind. "We can go back to our big house in the city." Cried Hortensia. "I must go to the port today," their father said, smiling. "Oh father," said Hortensia, "bring me some new clothes and fancy hats." "Yes," added Rosalind, "and new shoes and pretty jewelry." Beauty looked at her father and said gently, "Please don't spend money on me, father. Just bring me a rose." The father went to the port, but sadly, the ship was empty. "What bad luck," he sighed. "There's nothing here." On his way back, it started snowing. The wind was strong, and he got lost in a big forest. "I'm cold and tired," he thought. "Where am I?" He heard wolves and got scared. Then he saw a big castle with lights in the windows. "Maybe someone can help me," he thought. He took his horse to the stable and knocked on the castle door. No one answered. Carefully, he opened the door and walked inside. Inside, there was a big hall with a warm fire and a long table full of food. "How strange," he thought. "No one is here." He sat near the fire to warm up, then ate some food. After that, he found a soft bed and fell asleep. In the morning, he found clean new clothes next to his bed. "Someone kind lives here," he thought. He looked out the window. It was no longer snowing. The sun was shining and the garden was full of flowers. He ate breakfast, biscuits, chocolate, and milk, but still saw no one. "Thank you for this lovely breakfast," he said aloud, though no one was around. As he was leaving, he passed through the garden and saw some beautiful roses. Beauty wanted a rose, he remembered. He picked one. Suddenly, a loud, scary voice shouted behind him. "You are a bad man," cried a terrible creature. "I saved your life. I gave you food and a bed. And now you steal my roses." For this, you must die. The man turned and saw a horrible beast. He fell to his knees, crying, "Please, I didn't know. I just wanted to take a rose for my daughter. My name is not, sir." "I am the beast," said the creature. "And now, one of your daughters must die in your place." "No," cried the father. "They are young. They cannot die." "Then you must return here and die," said the beast. "I will wait 3 months. Do you agree?" The father agreed with a heavy heart. "I want to see my children one last time," he thought. Before he left, the beast told him, "Go back to your room. There's a big chest. Fill it with anything you want, it's all yours." The man filled the chest with gold, then rode home. When he arrived, he gave Beauty the rose. "Here is your rose," he said sadly. "But let me tell you what happened." He told them about the empty ship, the castle, and the terrible beast. Rosalind and Hortensia were angry. "This is all your fault, Beauty," they said. "Father must die because of your silly rose." "No," said Beauty softly. "Father will not die. I will go to the beast's castle instead." "No, sister," said her 3 brothers. "We will go and fight the beast." "That's not possible," their father said quietly, shaking his head. The beast was big and strong. Beauty's father was old and scared. "I must go to the beast and die," he said sadly, but Beauty didn't agree. "No, father," she said firmly. "You must not go. I will go instead." "Never, my dear Beauty," said her father, shocked. "I'm not afraid," said Beauty softly. "You must live and take care of my brothers and sisters. They need you." Her father thought for a moment, then sighed deeply. "All right, Beauty," he said with sorrow. "You can go." Her brothers were heartbroken, but Hortensia and Rosalind were not. They didn't care. The next morning, Beauty and her father went to the beast's castle. Inside, they saw a long table filled with delicious food. They weren't hungry, but they sat down and ate quietly. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the room. "What's that terrible noise?" asked Beauty. "The beast is coming," said her father. Beauty saw the beast's face and felt afraid. "He's so ugly. He looks frightening," she thought, but the beast looked at her gently. "You're a brave girl," he said. "I'm very sorry about the rose from your garden." "I understand," whispered Beauty. Then the beast looked at her father. "You must leave tomorrow," he said firmly. "And never come back. Do you understand?" Beauty's father looked at the beast, then at his daughter. "Oh, Beauty," he said with tears. "Please let me stay. Go home." "No, father," said Beauty. "We must be brave. Let's rest now. Tomorrow, you can return to my brothers and sisters." That night, Beauty had a dream. A kind fairy appeared and said, "You're a good girl, Beauty. You have a kind heart. You want to save your father's life. One day, you will be very happy." The next morning, her father left the castle. He was crying. "Don't cry, father," said Beauty, hugging him. "I love you. Goodbye, dear Beauty," he said sadly. Beauty stood alone, scared. "The beast will eat me tonight," she thought. "But before that, I want to enjoy this day." She went into the castle's garden and was amazed. It was full of beautiful flowers. Then she explored the castle and saw many rooms. On one door, she read, "Beauty's room." She opened it and was surprised. Inside was a cozy bed, a mirror, a piano, and many books. "This is all for me? How strange. Maybe the beast doesn't want to eat me after all," she thought. She picked up a book and started reading. Suddenly, glowing words appeared on the page. "Welcome, Beauty. Don't be afraid. You are the queen here. Ask for anything you want." "I only want to see my poor father," said Beauty softly. She looked up and saw her father in the mirror. He looked very sad. Then she saw her home, and her sisters, Hortensia and Rosalind, laughing, happy without her. The beast is kind to me, she thought. Why am I afraid of him? At noon, she had lunch. Afterward, she returned to her room. What a lovely piano, she thought, and began to play a sweet tune. Later, she looked at the books again. Some had pictures, some didn't. She found a book about flowers and admired the beautiful roses of many colors. Now I want to visit the garden and look at real roses, she thought. She spent the afternoon in the garden, walking among the flowers. Feeling peaceful and happy, at dinner, she sat at the long table. Suddenly, she heard the beast approaching. Her heart beat fast. Beauty, may I sit with you? The beast asked. You are the lord of this castle, said Beauty politely. And you are the queen, said the beast kindly. Can I ask you something? He said, yes, of course, she replied softly. Am I very ugly? Asked the beast. Beauty didn't know what to say. She looked at him and thought for a moment. Well. Yes, you are, she said gently. But you are kind and polite. The beast smiled sadly. You're right. I am terribly ugly. But I try to be kind. This is your home now, Beauty. Please don't be sad. Some men are handsome but cruel, said Beauty. I prefer someone with a good heart. Thank you, Beauty, said the beast. That night, Beauty was no longer afraid of the beast. She ate well, and they talked. Then the beast asked her quietly, do you want to marry me, Beauty? Beauty was shocked. What should I say? She thought. After a long pause, she replied, no. I'm sorry. I don't want to marry you. The beast looked hurt. He stood up and walked away. Goodbye, Beauty, he said. Beauty's face turned red and she became quiet. In the mirror in my room, she whispered, I saw my poor father. He's all alone. He thinks I'm dead. My sisters are married, and my brothers are far away. Please, beast, let me go see my father, just one last time. The beast looked at her sadly. Yes, you may go, he said softly. But I will miss you terribly. Oh, thank you, said Beauty, her face lighting up with happiness. Please don't be sad. I promise to come back in 1 week. Before you return, said the beast, place this ring on a table near your bed. It's a magic ring. Goodbye, Beauty. The next morning, Beauty woke up in her old room at her father's house. She hurried downstairs. When her father saw her, he cried out with joy, Beauty. Is it really you? You're alive. My daughter is home. Beauty hugged him tightly. Yes, father, I'm home. After getting dressed, she said, let me tell you about the beast. In her room, Beauty found a big chest full of beautiful clothes. These are from the beast, she told her father. He gives me gifts every day. I want to give these to Rosalind and Hortensia, she added. But as soon as she said that, the chest disappeared. The beast is watching, her father warned. These gifts are meant for you, not your sisters. Just then, the chest reappeared. Later that day, Rosalind and Hortensia came to visit. They looked miserable. Oh Beauty, said Rosalind, I'm so unhappy. Why? Asked Beauty. My husband is handsome, but all he does is stare at himself in the mirror. He doesn't even talk to me. Oh no, said Beauty. That's terrible. My husband is very clever, said Hortensia, but he's rude and unfriendly. I can't even invite my friends to our home. Beauty sighed. My poor sisters. I'm so sorry. Tell us about the beast, asked Hortensia. The beast is not a bad man, said Beauty. He's very kind. I live in a wonderful castle. I don't work. I read, play music, walk in the garden. And every evening, we have dinner and talk. The sisters became jealous. She wears fine clothes and lives like a queen, Rosalind muttered. She's happy and we're not, said Hortensia. Maybe if she stays longer, said Rosalind, the beast will get angry and eat her. So they made a plan to keep Beauty home. That week, the sisters were very sweet to her. They laughed and walked with her, and Beauty believed they loved her. I must go back now, Beauty said after a week, but the sisters began to cry. Please stay one more week, they begged. We need you. Beauty hesitated. All right. One more week. Beauty stayed longer, but her heart felt heavy. She missed the beast. 10 days after arriving home, she had a dream. In her dream, the beast was lying in the garden, dying. Beauty, he whispered, you didn't come back. I cannot live without you. Beauty woke up, terrified. He's dying, she cried. I must go back now. She placed the magic ring on the table beside her bed and whispered, he may be ugly, but he is kind. Why didn't I agree to marry him? My sisters have handsome husbands but are not happy. I am happy with the beast. The next morning, Beauty woke up in the beast's castle. That evening, she wore a beautiful dress and waited for him at dinner. But the beast did not come. Where is he? She whispered, heart pounding. She ran through the castle, searching every room. Then she remembered the dream. She rushed to the garden, and there he was, lying still on the grass. No. She cried. Are you dead? She leaned in. His heart was beating. He's alive. She whispered with relief. She ran to the river, brought water, and gently wet his face. Slowly, the beast opened his eyes. Beauty, he whispered. I'm dying. But I'm happy you're here. No, don't die. Beauty cried. Please, live. I love you. I want you to be my husband. I can't live without you. Suddenly, the garden lit up. Fireworks burst in the sky. Beauty turned to look, and instead of the beast, she saw a handsome young man. Thank you, Beauty, said the man gently. Your love has broken the spell. Where's the beast? She asked. I was the beast, he said. A wicked witch cursed me. Only true love could break the spell. Now I am free. He took her hand. Will you marry me? Beauty looked into his kind eyes and smiled. Yes, I will. When they entered the castle, Beauty gasped in surprise. My family. She cried with joy. You're all here. They laughed and talked. And then the good fairy from her dream appeared. You have a kind and loving heart, she said to Beauty. Now you will become a princess. Then the fairy turned to the sisters. You were lazy, selfish, and cruel. You don't love anyone. She waved her wand, and in a flash, Rosalind and Hortensia turned to stone. Oh no! Cried Beauty. My sisters. They have hearts of stone, said the fairy. Now they cannot move, but they can see and hear everything. When they truly regret their mistakes, they will become human again. The next day, Beauty and the prince were married. The castle was filled with music and joy. Everyone gave them flowers and blessings. The prince saw Beauty's eyes filled with tears and whispered. Don't cry, my love. We're going to be very happy together.